Sucking on my own dick. Yeah, you know I'm sucking on my own dick. Sucking on my dick. Everybody's sucking their own dicks. Sucking on our own dicks. Everybody's sucking their own dicks. Sucking on our dicks. Yeah, you know I'm sucking on my dicks. Sucking on my.
All right, we are here with Nate Fisher.
Yeah.
What's
up,
man?
Welcome, Nate Fisher from A Closer Look podcast, which is excellent. Please check it out.
I'm going to say that. I'm going to ask you to say that again about 18 times during this episode. Are you sure you like it? Are you sure? I don't know. Like, sometimes I get insecure.
Yeah, it's very funny because like normally I hate scripted podcasts, especially scripted comedy podcasts.
Yeah.
They're like all awful.
I don't recall ever listening to one in my entire life. And I don't. Sometimes I have a hard time listening to my own. But I couldn't stomach the thought of listening to one.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think has been. I think a lot of people agree with that, which is why we have so few listeners.
Do you want to explain like what the show is?
Yeah. So the podcast. Listen up. The podcast is a scripted fake documentary in the style of like Serial. Or like, you know, what the other ones. I don't listen to them.
Any
NPR style?
Yeah, any NPR show.
Yeah. And it's a story, and we did 8 episodes, all one story. If we do a second season, it'll be another individual story. The first season was a fictional World Series from 1979 between 2 teams that don't exist. One team from Nashville that's run by a Christian cult, and one team from Lower Manhattan that's run by the Gambino crime family. And we follow these people who are in the organization, that are playing on the team, that are like commentators in the game through all 7 of the World Series games as like the violence escalates between both of the organizations, and eventually some demons start to appear and wreak their havoc on the game. It goes into we really try to like, we have a lot. It's very violent. There's a lot of death. It's so much death for a World Series.
Yeah, so far there's quite a lot of death.
Did you listen to the whole thing?
Yeah, well, up until the next or the final episode comes out tomorrow, right?
So when is this coming out?
This will come out Monday.
Okay, yeah. So by this point, the episode 8 will be out. You can listen to all of it in like one sitting, because each episode's like 20 minutes long. Because
beautiful.
It's exhausting to write it all down
For sure.
Doing like a 1 hour podcast where you don't script it is the easiest thing on earth.
Oh, it's so easy.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it twice tonight.
and trying to write 20 pages of a podcast is so tiring. Like I felt like I had just worked in a coal mine for like 10 hours.
Yeah.
And it was just like trying to come up with like, and then in the 4th inning, this happens, and just over and over. It's fucking terrible.
Do you have to? I still need to. Unfortunately, I'll admit, I'm going to listen to it when I get home tonight. I'm sorry. I've had so many other podcasts to listen to.
So many other scripted baseball podcasts.
No, none of them scripted. I'm going to be popping my scripted podcast cherry with this one. But do you have to like? So I assume before things get wild with like the demons and the cult and the crime family, have you also like how much real baseball shit are you getting in there?
So the other annoying thing that is that Will and I both have an overlapping autism, where it's like, okay, what's the score in this game? And not only that is what's the score? When are they going to their bullpen? And who's going to be on the mound for what innings? And also what we went back and forth at least 6 times on which stadium should they be playing this game in, based on American League or National League rules in the World Series.
So like, is demons like coming out of the ground? Is that like an error in baseball? Like,
yes, yeah. No. It's if you hit the ball like really bad, it'll go into the ground, and then a guy will come out, and the steam will rise from the earth. That's kind of how it works.
Okay.
Yeah, but also it's like there's a lot of we just kind of went like, it's spoiling the 8th episode. We just kind of went like hog wild with it, and we got really self-indulgent. You start to write it and you're like, we're going to write a really tight story, and we're going to write a really concise fucking thing with characters that like have like internal logic and they have their own desires and things they care about.
Right.
And then by episode 7, it's like, all right, and so this guy floats out on the field and his eyes are black, and then the other character, and this is all being remarked upon by a mobster who only speaks in movie references that I know, and starts talking about them like he's like a 1970s film critic.
And there's like 25 like very unique characters.
Yeah. That's the other thing that's like really exhausting about doing this is that I was so we recorded at my friend's house, and I was getting really upset with myself because I was like, man, I can't get the fucking impressions down, and I just can't get the fucking voices right. And she was like, you should not be upset with yourself because Will can't do any voices and he's fine with it.
Right.
I voiced like 40 characters in this thing.
Jesus Christ.
There's like 5 characters that I don't voice and that I voice every single other one. So there's just a lot of times there's just 3 hours of me just sitting on the floor with the microphone trying to get the impression right and then just hitting myself in the leg because I can't fucking get it.
Yeah, this is one of the most autistic pieces of art I've ever consumed.
It's so
and
bad.
I love it.
So I assume you don't record it live. You're not doing like an Orson Welles like Theater of the Mind radio production. I guess you're like cutting and stopping.
There are some times where I like have to do like 2 characters in a room arguing, and I'll like one guy will be like, at the other end of the room, be fucking yelling over this, and then I'll be like, no, and like it's that, but it's also like I would go line by line. Here's another autistic part of it is that I had to make like a spreadsheet of like Google Doc because I had to send like the editor of the podcast so many audio files, and so I would make a spreadsheet, and every time we did a take, I would write down the Zoom file extension, put that in the spreadsheet. I would put down the corresponding page number, and I would put down my notes on that particular take for every single take, and then we did like 30 per episode.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a truly impressive amount of work, and like I've seen things like this where it's like, wow, this guy works so hard and this sucks. This is dog shit.
I was
like
I was like, this is not good enough for how much work we're putting into it. I was like the whole time I was like, because we had like 20 writing sessions, and I think the final script for the 8 episodes ended up being like 165 pages. Like we wrote like a fucking movie, and it's just like this is not good enough for how much work we put into this. I'm not going to enjoy doing this. And then it was just like such a chore.
But it is actually very good.
Thank you. I mean, I'm going to give, again, this is the second time. I got about 10 more fishing for compliments in the but yeah, no, it was like we were writing it, and we would do all this work, right? We would put it out, and how much do you guys know about how to track how many listeners you have? How do you do it?
On what hosting service do you use?
Yeah. Well, so we have SoundCloud and Spotify, and the RSS links out from SoundCloud to like Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Mm-hmm. So SoundCloud tells you your streams you have, right? So it tells you every time somebody streams it.
All right.
But are there downloads on SoundCloud?
I was gonna say I don't want the sound. I was looking for the SoundCloud number to be lower than the actual number because the SoundCloud number is startlingly low.
Well, so like from what I understand is like if you use a hosting service that's not SoundCloud, you see your downloads, but you don't see when people just stream it. But I think SoundCloud shows you the streams.
At least I like to think I have no idea if it works that way, but I've always just operated under the assumption of like, oh well, people are streaming it, we don't see those.
Right.
Yeah,
you see Spotify streams. Mm-hmm. You see Spotify streams are counted as downloads, but
okay,
if they're like not downloading it on Apple Podcasts or not downloading it on the player, then you don't see it. I don't think.
All right. Well, I need to find. I'm like the Bush administration, like in the 2000 election. I'm just trying to find more ballots. Like,
everybody right now, go listen after this is over. Go listen to a closer look on SoundCloud.
I'm like Trump, where it's like 1 a.m. and suddenly some other podcast gets all these votes flooded in. I'm like, where did these come from?
You're calling Georgia.
Kill the mailman.
Yeah, that's right.
The saddest thing that I did when I was like trying to see how many listeners we got was I counted up all the plays that we've got, and I tried to roughly approximate how many listeners that meant we had, and then I did like a total listens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, even if someone just listens to one episode or whatever, I added all that up, and then I divided that into how much money we've spent on the production of the podcast to try and determine how much each listener cost. And the number was about $2 a listen.
Damn, dude. This is fucked up.
No, it's really bad.
This is a terrible way to promote it, to go on the show and be like, mathematically, this is how much my show sucks.
I just like if we get, I'm gonna just assume 75 people from your listener base come over to mine and they listen to half the episodes. It goes down to $1 a person. And I'd feel a lot better about that.
It was $1. Yeah.
I think, well, that could very well happen. Yeah, I do want to just say that we're joking around, but it is very good. And I asked you to come on because I could tell looking at your Twitter that no one was listening to it.
So bad.
And I was like, damn, this is really good. And I can tell no one listens to this shit.
Will my co-host has 9,000 followers on Twitter.
Yeah, Will's a good account.
He goes viral constantly.
Yeah.
And he'll post the podcast link after every time. 6 likes.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Well, Twitter followers aren't real. They don't follow you to anything else.
Pretty much any platform that you get big on, it's hard to translate that success into another medium or another. Like, they like you for the specific thing you do. Like, that's why TikTokers, they try to like put TikTokers on TV and nobody gives a shit.
Yeah,
They just want to watch them do the TikTok thing. Yeah, man, it's crazy how little a big following will translate into like an actual creative endeavor.
No, dude, I thought about like, how could I ever possibly get my money back for doing this? Like, I was just like brainstorming, like, what are ways?
So you thought this was going to be a big hit?
No, I didn't. I honestly, I had a if you build it, they will come mentality. I did. Some of us looked at Field of Dreams and said that could happen. I could do that. It could. You know what? Sometimes the cream rises to the top. You know what?
Yeah,
it hasn't happened yet, but the expression exists for a reason.
This feels like one of those like obsessive projects that they like show in like they'll show in the Visionary Arts Museum like 30 years from now. Like, you know, like, you ever been there in Baltimore, Brandon? It's like a dude. It's like he constructed like a life-size statue of Martin Luther King out of toothpicks, and you're like, what's he doing now? They're like, he's in jail for killing his family. This feels like one of those like beautiful mind obsession things that people will appreciate long after you're dead.
Yeah. Like, I was driving through the desert, like, and I saw like a house that had been made out of like bottle caps and shit, and everyone was taking pictures of it, and it was like, yeah, and the guy was Timothy McVeigh. That was the guy who made this bottle cap house in the desert.
I think you're onto something. What we need to do is we need to get you a sign on the highway.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Not advertising the podcast, just giving them like next right. And then they come and you're there and you take out one of your earbuds, you give it to them. You listen to it with them.
I'll wait. I'll do a partnership with a car wash. And when someone gets into the car wash, I have a narrow window of opportunity. And I'm going to get soaked, but I'll try to get in. I'll get in the car right as they're getting into the wash part. And as the thing's going over, I was like, play this. And I shove a CD into their CD thing.
You shatter a CD against their Tesla screen.
And then I just start playing it off my phone. And then they can't kick me out because what are they going to do? Throw me out into the big tubes?
They can't even open the doors.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're not allowed.
Yeah, you're not allowed. And like what? It's like it's if you can throw me out, fine, but you're gonna get covered in soap,
right?
And
it's gonna hurt your eyes.
Are you want to do that, or you want to hear 2 minutes of this podcast? That's your choice.
Yeah.
I think that'll work. I think we need. I just need ways to trap people into listening to this.
I feel like at 2 minutes they're gonna be like, okay, so what? It's like a baseball game. Like, is it?
Well, no, you have to meet all the characters. You've only met 2 of the characters. There's 38 more characters you have to meet. We haven't even gotten to Nashville. We're still in Lower Manhattan. Introducing the first team. There's so much exposition. You got to understand that, like, we really all the baseball games have a very meticulous score line. There's a continuity of action. Nothing is lost.
I believe you, man.
And then by that point, we'll be out of the car wash and on to the next person. You know, you do it 100 times, you probably get 2 listeners.
You're gonna be pruny as shit by the end of the day.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
He's gonna be wrinkled.
I gotta get like a waterproof phone case. I'm gonna get a concussion for sure from the big the swirling things.
I Honestly, it would rule to go through the car wash without a car. How much do you think you'd have to pay?
I've dreamed of that since I was a kid. I thought of constantly, I would like bike to it and I'd be like, if they would just let me just bike through it once.
Because I mean, a car wash is basically a giant flashlight. Like the way it has all the different like little.
It's gotta feel so.
It has
good
all
for
the
car.
textures and the different like rotating things.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, it's a blowjob machine.
If you're a car, that's got to be the best suck in your life. If you're just, oh man, that's gotta feel so. That's gotta feel like the best like happy ending massage.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're a car, what sexual experiences are you really able to enjoy?
Yeah,
The occasional special needs man fucking your tailpipe.
you got sometimes a special needs man fucks tailpipe. Sometimes you get to go through a tunnel. You get to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, how tight is the Hyperloop, dude? You know the cars are licking their lips looking at that.
Oh yeah. You get the Hyperloop is all S&M because they strap you in to Hyperloop. Like they have like wheels connect your car wheels to littler wheels. Like,
oh, really?
They make the car. That's how stupid the Hyperloop is. They make the car into a train while it's down there.
Yeah,
because
that's my problem with Elon Musk is like everything he's invented is just buses and trains, like but shittier.
Yeah, it's just like very bad. And then the car blows up when it's inside the Hyperloop, and there's no way to get fire people inside this extremely tightest pussy you've ever been in.
Oh yeah.
Oh, if you're a
well,
car,
that's my plan. Day one, I'm killing myself in the Hyperloop.
If you're a car and you crash in the Hyperloop, you're like, this is where I wanted to die.
Yeah. But on the flip side, he is giving us an opportunity to drive drunk. He's giving us a chance to get somewhere behind the wheel of a car, shit faced.
Yeah.
And for that, you got to be like, yeah, he's kind of the man.
Yeah.
I might do that. I might do.
You're gonna go to the Hyperloop. It's in Vegas, right?
Is it? They made one?
I don't think they made it.
What's the tunnel? He made a fucking. I don't know if it's the Hyperloop, but he made a tunnel, and it's really tacky. It's got these like gaudy like neon lights in it. Kylie Jenner went through it. It was on Twitter. It's a tunnel that only one fucking car can fit inside. It's insanely
Very
narrow.
sexy.
I would love if he like kept doing the throwing the ball bearing at the window thing like over and over. Like eventually Elon Musk is just gonna like build Rapture and be under the sea and be like, and watch this and throw.
And
Right, and the glass.
Yeah.
One of the glass tunnels.
Yeah.
It's like it's like Jurassic Park or like where it's like it's like this will never break, and then he just does one, and it instantly floods and everybody dies.
Yeah, instantly floods.
Yeah, I want that. Man, I'm still thinking about that sexy tunnel.
I'm telling you, there's
purple lights.
It's in Vegas. Have you guys not seen this video?
No.
I don't even.
I don't watch porn anymore, so I can't. It's gonna make me act up.
I mean, it's a really appealing tunnel, except I don't like from what the reason people were criticizing it is because the tunnel in Vegas, I think it's in Vegas. I might be fucking retarded, but it doesn't look like the car attaches to anything. So it is just like this insane fire/accident hazard where it's like there's no oncoming traffic. There's just one narrow.
You just have to ram. If a car gets stuck, all the other cars have to take turns ramming it.
Yeah, you got to push it through.
Yeah. I'm more used to like that blue collar like the Boston tunnels, the Big Dig. That's the kind of pussy that I'm into. It's just like, the panels got built really shittily in the 90s
right,
with congressional money, and then one of them fell and killed a lady. It's a metaphor for the women that I'm in love with.
Mine shaft pussy. Caved in pussy.
Yeah. The Ted
you have to take a canary.
Ooh, that pussy caved in.
Dude, just the Ted Williams tunnel. That did actually happen. They did build the Big Dig, and one of the panels from the Big Dig fell down and killed a lady in the traffic.
Damn.
And everyone was mad at the government for taking 25 years. It was the most expensive public works project.
To just get smashed like Mario by one of those blocks.
Because the glue was too weak. It was because
they were using glue.
They were gluing the panels to the ceiling of the Ted Williams tunnel that takes you to the airport, and one of them just like unglued, just came unstuck.
Damn, and it just swatted this lady.
Just squatted her car, yeah. Again, the most expensive public works project in American history was the Massachusetts Big Dig, and it took 30 years to build this and like $20 billion.
And this was like recently after its opening, it just fucking.
Well, so they staggered the opening, but this was like 10 years ago.
Okay.
This was not that long ago, and like they started working on it in like the 80s.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah. It was like all like to put the highways of Boston underground, and then they kind of did it, and then one of the panels fell.
Oh.
And the lady died.
Damn, dude, that makes me think about like the Beverly Hills like Purple Line. Like we're not going to see that till like what 2040 or some shit.
Yeah, they're opening it station by station, and I think the last station that they're going to open in like the VA is like 2100.
Yeah,
It's gonna take even longer because they're gonna have to keep closing the stations to host the Oscars.
That's it. Yeah, they host it. The awards are delivered by their big like boring machine. They come out. This big drill just hands the award.
I would love to get killed with an Oscar.
That would be great. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
Just like spinning like a billion times and just drills into your head.
It really should. Winning an Oscar should be like winning a Mayan soccer game, where it's like it's a great honor, and now it's time for you to perish.
Yeah. They should make the statues out of the people that they should be life-size statues with no heads. Dipped in gold,
right?
Just a headless 6 foot body, and you're like, yeah, that was Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah, he was so good in No Country for Old Men. I mean, he'd been fighting his whole life to win that Oscar. I don't know why Meryl Streep keeps trying to do this. Keeps winning them. I don't know how. I didn't watch the Oscars.
No, I didn't either. I mean, I know that
I didn't see any of the movies. I was unaware there were movies.
Yeah,
Sound of Metal was good, but it didn't win. Nothing that I liked won.
You were a Chadwick Boseman guy?
No, I'm not a Chadwick Boseman guy.
Yeah, fuck Chadwick. But you heard about that though, right?
The ending that they like rearrange it so that he could win.
So Anthony Hopkins,
the oldest white man to ever win an Oscar, the oldest man to ever win an Oscar, and it was just a billion-year-old Anthony Hopkins was not there. He was didn't care.
They wouldn't let him zoom in either. He was like, "I'll zoom in." They're like, "No, we don't want to do that."
It was. I didn't hear about that until like 4 days later, and I was like, "That's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life."
Yeah, that does rule.
It's a great. I mean, what a way for Hollywood to go out. We're gonna see the death of the Oscars in our lifetime. Isn't that beautiful?
It'll be in 2 years.
Yeah,
I fucking hope so, dude. I mean, we're already not doing the Golden Globes this year, which like I think I might even like the Golden Globes more than the Oscars.
Yeah.
They won't end. It'll just be a tweet from now on.
Yeah.
By the way, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Fuck the Academy. Who cares? If the Oscars are gone. Unless they bring back, I mean, I would be down if they brought back Billy Crystal and let him do Jazz Man.
That'd be great. Yeah.
I think that's how you get people to watch the Oscars again.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Everyone's like, well, they don't want to host because everyone's afraid of getting canceled. No one wants to do it. It's like Billy Crystal is not afraid of getting canceled.
Just get somebody who's canceled. Get Mel Gibson. Get any of the cool people left in Hollywood.
Yeah. Just get the band back. Get Chevy Chase. What's he up to?
Oh,
yeah. Chevy Chase hosts the Oscars via voicemail.
Just get Alec Baldwin, nice and drunk. Just have
oh, dude.
Yeah, it's all. Honestly, my favorite people in Hollywood are just great at letting it rip on a voicemail.
Absolutely, dude.
The Best Actress nominees, 5 hugs. That's it. That's all they are. Love Baldwin. What a talented man. So good.
Dude, how awesome are the Baldwins? I was just reading about who's the Baldwin who's a drug addict, because there's Alec, there's Steven, there's William. Who's the fucking fourth Baldwin? I can't think of his name.
Do you think as like
you got Alec, right?
I got Alec. Yeah, I got Alec.
Okay.
No, whatever one's a drug addict. Apparently, there was some incident in New York where he was running like cracked out of his mind through some big hotel in New York, just screaming Baldwin, just screaming his own last name.
That's pretty sick. Do you think that in Glengarry Glen Ross, like method acting, Alec Baldwin was thinking about his pig daughter during his speech?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
What's my name? Fuck you. Jane, fuck you.
Yeah, dude, the Baldwins are fucking awesome.
Jack Lemmon's just like, he keeps calling me Jane.
Dude, I never got that movie. So it's what? It's like midnight and they're still doing door-to-door sales.
Yeah,
I never understood that about Glengarry Glen Ross.
It takes place in like at 2 a.m. The whole movie takes place at 2 a.m, and they're like above a bar, and then there's the two locations that is like they They do the calls, and then they go down to the bar.
It's also a Chinese food restaurant.
Yeah.
And Chinese
And you have to
restaurant.
go bother people at their homes.
Right.
Yes,
Who have
that-
told you not to stop by.
Yeah.
Jack Lemmon's like, please give me leads. It's 2 a.m. in the middle of a thunderstorm. I'm gonna go do some cold calls.
Have you seen Miami Blues?
No.
No.
Alec Baldwin plays a complete sociopathic criminal murderer.
I'm in.
Very much just being himself. I mean, the man is electric. In like the
Totally.
in the third, I think it's like the second scene in the movie. He arrives in Miami off a plane, and like some kind of journalist or something is harassing him. I don't remember what the guy's job is, but he grabs him and he breaks his neck in one move. He just junk, and then the whole plot of the movie is like him running from a murder. He murdered a guy in the airport, and they're on his tail.
Almost like incidentally, like
Yeah. The guy like said like a snide comment to him. He murders him instantly and walks out and goes and commits other crimes.
that
That's
reminds
so
me
sad.
of that's like that Robert Redford movie, The Apostle, where like it's the same thing. Like in the second scene, he gets drunk and beats somebody to death. I think he's like a megachurch pastor who has a drinking problem, and then somebody says something off color to him, so he like kills him, and then it's just like on the run, and then like builds a church and like. And becomes like a beloved pastor in the South, but then at the end of the movie they're like, "Hey, didn't you kill that guy?" He's like, "Yeah." And then he goes to jail.
Yeah, pre like 1970, it's so sick that you could just do that. You just like kill a man in public, and you're just like, well, I need to drive for a while to get away
Yeah,
from
Get on the river.
Yeah.
Just get on the river, dude.
Just go down Mexico. You know? No, that's what the magic of movies is, right? Everybody wants. That's what we look at movies and we want. I just want to do one kill and run. And that's what every movie that we like has a character that gets to get a kill in.
Mm-hmm.
That's why The Godfather is the best movie of all time, because there's like 9 of those guys. They go and they do a kill, and they go to Italy, or they get like, you know, James Caan gets gunned down later.
Or they just say like, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, well, I guess I have to take you on your word. You wouldn't lie in court.
If you say so. Yeah.
May I remind you that you are under oath? All right, cool. Good job.
Fuck, he's under oath, and he.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh,
One of these
under
days
oath
I'm going
is-
to get one of them.
Do they like? I mean, in court now, like, I guess they have you swear on the Bible, which probably worked in like the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
But now they must know, like, people will just lie.
Yeah.
They make you swear on different stuff that means stuff to you. Like you can pick anything if it means, but yeah, you can still lie.
I went to court.
Well, if they give you a choice, why would you pick something meaningful for you?
No, I went to court and I had to. They know a lot about. They do a lot of homework on you, like because like the prosecution, they figure this out. And so like when I went to court for my DUI, I had to swear in on a copy of Atlas Shrugged. And,
Hell yeah.
and I was like, "Fuck! Now they got me. I have to tell the truth. I have to be objective about this whole thing." You guys have Ayn Rand phases when you were 16?
Absolutely.
Or just me?
Who is John Galt,
I didn't get further than like the Wikipedia article. I think I got it from the library and was just like, that was like right when I was like stopping reading.
Yeah.
Right when my brain was like calcifying with gaming.
They made us read Anthem in school. We like had Ayn Rand in the curriculum.
That's awesome. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Maryland.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
You're the guys with the best flag.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Not enough. We don't get enough lip service for the flag, dude.
I have Maryland flag socks.
Really?
I'm obsessed. Well, this is flag autism moment. I am genuinely very interested and invested in state flags.
Okay.
And flags of the world. It was one of the first things I memorized as a kid. Was I was like 3 years old, and I had a book of all the flags of the world. And my parents would point to, like, "Is this what flag is this?" And I'd be like, "This is Chile." And that was like the first thing I ever memorized of many things that I would go on to memorize.
Right, for sure.
That was the first one.
How has that served you?
Very well. I got to basically I did a lightning round thing on a date, and I was just like, "Give me a flag, I'll tell you what I think about it. I'll give you
Shit.
Oh, you're getting some pussy.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You can name the flags?
Rhode Island, solid flag. That's it's an anchor that says hope. It's oxymoronic. It's a great
Are
flag.
there any flags you absolutely hate?
Okay, well, all of the ones that Ohio flag is true trash.
I don't even know if I know it.
The Ohio flag looks like the flag of like Puerto Rico or whatever, or like it looks like an American flag that you asked to be drawn by like you had 4 Make-A-Wish kids draw an American flag, and then you put them on top of each other. And then you used all 4 of them at once. I'm gonna pull up the Ohio flag.
I have to see this. I can't believe that's fun. I've been to Ohio.
This is the Ohio flag.
That looks like shit.
It's so bad.
Oh my god! Why is there a circle on it?
A flag that's not even a rectangle. Fuck you.
It's so bad.
putting a circle inside of itself on a flag is no good.
Yeah. It's got a little Japan action. There's so many stars that just don't like. It's like they had to shoehorn in a lot of stars. Nothing about this works.
And so you actually cut it out. It's not Brennan. Because that's the flag. It's like got
It's bent. Yeah, it goes in. It's a diagonal flag.
It looks like what do you call that? A pendant from college or something.
Yeah.
It looks like shit.
It's
As a
real
state,
bad.
you should really believe in yourself enough to use all the fabric.
A proper flag.
Yes, yeah. Most of the state flags are just like a blue. They're a blue. It's a blue background, right? And then they have their state crest, and it's every state crest is just like an eagle, just like pulling at the tendons of a Native American man's neck.
Right.
That's every single state flag. And
I think PA is like horses or something.
Something like that. And then under that, so under this like horrible gruesome scene, it just says in block letters Missouri.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of them just have the name of the state on it, which is really funny. It's like, what do we design? Just put the name.
Yes,
Just put the worst thing we've ever done and then our name.
Yeah, you're right, because it's always either like there will be like a fucking Confederate guy, like it's like a shield, and then like a Confederate guy, and then like a dude, like a Puritan, like one of the guys who like killed witches, right?
Yeah.
Like that's always the state crest. and
State
some
flags are
swords.
basically like, I saw this news story once that this like Cholo guy got a murder he committed tattooed across his chest.
Oh fuck yes.
Yeah. No, it does really look like that. It looks like a prison tattoo of like a genocide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that guy, he got caught for that murder because he got arrested for something else shirtless, and they were like, the guy booking him recognized him because he had responded to the scene.
And he's at his trial, and he's like, "Nah, do you plead guilty or not guilty?" And he rolls up his sleeve. It just says guilty.
Yeah, the tattoo is so funny too because like I guess his like gang nickname was like Chopper. So the tattoo is just of like an Apache helicopter lighting a guy up outside of a 7-Eleven.
What the fuck? That's what he did?
Yeah, like he made him symbolic, but everything else was just the literal scene of where it happened.
Holy shit! How'd he pull that? That's an insane crime, dude.
Yeah,
Just shoot someone at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, an Apache helicopter.
Yeah,
No, he drew himself as an Apache helicopter because his name was Chopper.
So he drew himself like a Thomas the Tank Engine type of thing, where it was an Apache
He's got a
helicopter with
the
his
Mexican guy's face on it?
and his mouth was open, and bullets were coming out of the mouth. And then of course the rest of it was extremely visceral, and there was a lot of blood and guts on the pavement.
That's so awesome.
It would be funny if you got 2 artists to do it. where,
Yeah.
The rest you get like some like tattoo convention like master to do.
Yeah. I've convened 7 of the greatest tattoo artists, and it's you as a competition will each do a part of the murder scene. And the best tattooist, the person who can do my face on the helicopter the best, is the tattoo artist of Los Angeles, of East Los Angeles.
I mean, think about how fucked up that must be to just like show up with like crime scene photographs and be like, you can trace this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is funny to. I never even considered him. I mean, I guess it had to be like another like criminal like tattooing him, but the idea of him just going into a shop on the boardwalk and being like, all right.
All right, so I got it. So I just did this thing, right? Let's say I didn't do it. I got it airbrushed on this shirt, right? At the thing on the next one, the boardwalk store over. I got them to airbrush this scene. Can you recreate this on my chest so that I can take it off as sort of like a double effect?
Dude, it'd be so funny if the dude getting shot looks like a caricature too. He's like on a skateboard with ice cream.
This is just a large-headed Barack Obama. And his shirt says, "If you see the police, warn a brother." I got my friend one of those shirts on a boardwalk like 8 years ago, and I really want it back because I know he doesn't wear it.
Hey, you know what else would be some great clothes to wear?
I think I have an idea.
Is the clothing from our sponsor, Under 5'10". How tall are you, Nate?
I'm 5'10".
You're
No, I'm 5'9" and 7/8.
Yeah.
Look, he
Well,
qualifies.
Let me tell you about our extremely on-brand sponsor for me, Under
my
5'10". So Under 5'10", they make clothing for men under 5'10". It's right in the name. Where if you're under 5'10", you've probably been wearing clothes that don't fit your whole life. You've
Yeah.
been wearing shirts. Let me tell you, button-up shirts are a nightmare for me. Because either, like when I was skinny, they were all too long.
Yeah.
And now that I'm very fat, they're all too tight.
Oh, no.
Yeah. At certain weights, I get fat enough that like it somehow makes the sleeve shorter because I guess it has to like get concave or something.
Right.
Yeah.
But you don't want to just be bunching it up looking like an old timey bar man, right? Just slinging mugs of ale.
True.
You want a normal shirt.
I want to wear a normal shirt.
Right.
I also, when I was a younger man and in shape, I would have to tuck in shirts always because otherwise they would go down to like my knees.
Yeah.
So then you're the tuck-in guy.
Just stuffing it way
Yeah.
down in there.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can feel like going into. You've got to put them into one pant leg.
And you're wearing skinny jeans. You look pretty diped at that point. You just got a lot of extra fabric.
yeah. It was skinny. Yeah, because this was like 2011.
Yeah.
So I was definitely wearing skinny jeans, tucked in shirt.
Just bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then to try to distract from that, I threw on a vest. Now you're a vest guy. You're fucked.
That's bad.
Try to get pussy, bitch. You idiot.
Never.
But yeah, under 5'10". Now I can buy under 5'10" clothes that fit my fat, horrible body perfectly.
Right.
And they almost make me look like a human being. Which is the highest praise.
That's a real testament to the brand.
I would love to look like a human being. This is the first time, so I always lie about my height, but I lie up. And now I'm going to finally admit that I'm 5'9" and 7/8 inches rather than saying I'm 6 feet tall to women.
Wow, you do that. You take the 2 inches.
No, I go 6'2". I talk big game.
Yeah. Oh, and then the other thing, the great thing related to dating and lying to women about under 5'10" clothing is that they go by normal small, medium, large sizes, where some lesser and more expensive small men's clothing brands, they're like size 1, size 2,
Right.
size 3, size 4.
It others you. You don't want to be othered.
Yeah, it others you. And then you find yourself in a situation that I've encountered multiple times where I somehow managed to have sex and the girl like goes to wear my t-shirt afterwards because they like doing that, and she's like, why is your shirt size 1?
Oh my god. Yeah, you don't want to be caught wearing like training clothes, dude.
Yeah. She's like, is this your girlfriend's shirt?
having a small, medium, large to scale is good because you don't want it to be like a Starbucks situation where it's like all the sizes are different synonyms of small.
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
it's like small, pequeño, puny, just a little small.
Yeah. No, truly, like as a short man, buying clothes sucks. It's humiliating. It's been horrible my whole life. I used to go to the mall with my mom, and I would like cry.
Dude,
Just get so
you know
upset.
what, if I designed the small men's clothes size, it'd be like Cutie Pie, Little Man, and Mr. Handsome. Those would be the 3 sizes.
Or just go reverse psychology, just like the Golem, and then like the Colossus.
But yeah, now I can have my dignity back. Thanks, under 5'10".
Damn. See, I used to speak up during these. Now I'm just not my story to tell. I try to be an ally through these ads.
That's right.
I
That's
really
right.
do, man.
It's important to center yourself in right spaces and decenter yourself in the spaces you shouldn't be centered in.
I say that all the time.
Yeah, I totally understand what I just said.
Yeah. But yeah, go to under510.com. You can sign up for their text alerts and get $10 off.
Nice. Cool. You better do that, man. If
I
you
did-
come on here and you don't do that,
I
I want
need
to see the receipts. Or I'm going to have you back on. You're going to hold the receipts right up to the camera.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I want to buy one of those shirts, and I'm sure it's very affordable. Even if somebody
It is actually very affordable.
if somebody hypothetically spent $800
on a podcast.
on the sound guy.
I gotta say, it's money well spent though. I mean, you'll never make it back ever. But it sounds great.
For a podcast that, if you add up the length of all the episodes, is pushing right around 3 hours total. So that's 3 episodes of a regular podcast.
Right.
If someone had done that, they could still buy one of these shirts.
Yeah,
That's right.
And
you really could.
and to know that person is out there just makes me feel warm to know that they're taken care of.
That's right.
Whoever they may be.
I know a lot of schmucks who have spent $800 on a scripted podcast.
I know a lot of guys who got conned by someone from the internet into living out their, I don't even know if it's a dream at this point. It's just more of a just sort of thing that you just fixate on and repeat to yourself lines from, and then got tricked into thinking they could make that a reality.
Right.
And they do make it a reality, but they're
It's just not one anyone wants to live in.
They can't fly home and see their mother. And if she really wants you to go to Memphis, but it's just like, they don't fly to Memphis that often from LAX or wherever this person lives. So it's just not it's a big commitment, and I'd like to have a shirt for it. That's the more.
Everybody loves to wear a shirt when they go to see their mother.
I
saw my mother today, and I was wearing a shirt the whole time.
Your mom here?
Yeah, my mom came to visit me here.
Oh, that's beautiful. What'd you do?
Well, so far I've just picked her up from the airport and brought her to her hotel.
Where's the hotel?
It is down the street.
That's so nice, so cute.
Oh, is it the Hilton?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's
whatever. We're not gonna be able to, nobody knows where we are. She'll be gone when this is up.
Yeah.
Nobody's interested in going and finding your mom.
I certainly hope that they aren't.
I don't think so. I don't even think our listeners live in
It's
Los
room
Angeles.
322. It's room 322. Not gonna say what hotel, but it's room 322.
Look, I should have. You're right. I should have some skin in the game now. I'll tell everybody where Isaac's gonna live. I can dox more information that could be potentially threatening.
Yeah, you can. I'll give people my address. You want to send me any money, just send me a nice word, just a word. I listen to the podcast on a piece of paper. Anything.
I give my address out all the time. People send me
You're
books.
gonna have to sell this. What you're gonna have to do is it's not a podcast anymore. Take it down.
Yes.
Now we're going back to like the 60s when there were like comedy albums of skits.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
That's a really good idea.
You'll be like Von Meter.
or like Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
No, Adam or Norm. Weren't like the first couple Norm CDs all skits, or he's just on the Adam CDs? I can't think.
Yeah, I don't know.
I swear to God, there's a Norm Macdonald CD that's not stand up. It's just him like, man, all my friends came over to watch something. It's like a skit.
It's a fictional World Series from 1979, and get this: the teams are from Nashville and they're from Lower Manhattan. Have you ever heard of that story? That's crazy. And I'm just listening to it like, fuck! God damn it, he thinks of everything. Mm-hmm. What am I going to do with this script I wrote called Dirty Work? Just found out about that too. Fuck. God. No, I should definitely do that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my 90 followers, right? Mm-hmm. on the podcast Twitter account. I'm gonna DM them one by one.
They love when you do that.
And I'm gonna go, listen, Chachi. I'm sundown in this podcast. I'm bringing it off. It's going in the Disney vault. Ever want to hear it again?
Yeah, if you show up at the Disney vault, will they open it to let you put things in there?
Come on, you got a shelf. You got an extra shelf, right?
Yeah.
Just pop the CD up there. It's a one of one. No one's ever made a CD of this.
Yeah. Right. Your podcast is like Stadia, where they're like, this is going to change everything. And then they just saw the numbers. They're like, oh, we're fucked.
Yeah. We're taking this offline. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm dialing up, going to the old offices of where Quibi used to be, and just being like, now there's no video, but the timing of it is right. It works. It fits the format.
Yeah.
You just hand a flash drive to Jeffrey Katzenberg. You're like, can you delete this for me?
You're like, here's an episode of my TV show. And it's just a still tripod shot of you with like an old reel-to-reel player, and you hit play, and then your podcast plays.
Yeah, no, it's just me. It's just me sitting in like this, right? But instead of a table, there's just an enormous ghetto blaster, and I just play it. I just play the podcast and just go like this to the camera.
Oh, dude, yeah, you should take the podcast like on the buses. You should take it on the buses on the red line.
Yeah, has anyone ever Radio Raheemed their own podcast?
Just play their podcast so let the police kill them.
I'm going pizza shop by pizza shop, and I'm not stopping until I get choked out.
Yeah. I'm going to get myself a nice tank top. I'm going to walk around blasting Coward Hour.
I mean,
Have you ever gotten caught listening to your own podcast? Because I used to do it more. Like now I don't really. But I used to listen. I'd like listen to it the next day to, I guess, I don't know what, just like hear me go and like, and then just like crash my car in shame.
I still do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been caught muttering lines from my podcast. Just I've been caught a morning after, just being there going like, and that's the bottom of the 8th there in the holy cow state. Just doing like, I'm just literally just lines from the announcers, and I'm just muttering the lines in the morning while I'm lying next to a woman who cares about me.
Yeah. It's weird when you trick a woman into caring about you, isn't it?
Yeah, I heard you did that.
I have.
That's so nice. I'm so happy for you.
I've been tricking her for like a year and a half.
It's
now.
one of the most prolonged instances of a trick I've ever seen in my life.
You turning any tricks these days?
I am turning tricks.
That's so nice for you.
Yeah, man.
You out on the stroll. That's so good.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck.
Yeah, one time I was getting my oil changed, and when they told me to turn my car back on, it connected to my phone and started playing Coward Hour.
Now,
All you have to do is keep your mouth shut so they don't know that's your voice.
Yeah.
Just do everything like a mime from there out.
Yeah, I just
you turn it on, and it's just you going, I gotta get my fucking car taken in. I gotta go to this dipshit mechanic. He's gonna overcharge me.
And then he's like, sir, and I'm like, oi, mate, just listen to a bit of a podcast.
What is this? This is the podcast.
Yeah, he sees me frantically getting Scotch tape out of the glove compartment to tape my eyes back.
I hit the look on the radio.
Yeah.
Very sorry. No English, very bad.
Howard Thunder. He's just like, oh, he's pretending to be Chinese and saying that his own podcast is Howard Stern.
And then as you do that, the audio of your podcast is still playing, goes into you doing the Chinese voice in the past episode.
Which honestly, the odds aren't bad.
Oh my god. No, I have not. I've never played my podcast. I can't bring myself to just listen to it because I listen to it and I'm like, that Woody Allen impression is just not there. It's just 80% of the way there.
Really?
The impressions are all really good.
Okay, that's 3. I need a couple more before I can get out of here.
I will have to cram them in.
Yeah. But no, it's just I have sat in my car and on purpose and sat there and listened to the episode and then just been like, fuck. Like I hit myself in the leg. Like it's like this is what you do for art. You gotta sacrifice so much. You gotta really put yourself through the ringer to get Burt Reynolds down.
Burt Reynolds is a tough one.
Burt's very subtle. Burt's very subtle, and you gotta watch a lot of old Dick Cavett interviews. I watched so many goddamn Dick Cavett interviews for this fucking podcast. Great show. I have a lot of opinions about various talk shows of the 1960s and 70s now.
I mean, Dick Cavett is like the talk show.
That was great.
It's incredible.
Have you seen the Cassavetes one?
Yes, dude, with Peter Falk and fucking
Oh yeah, he's
Cesaro.
played that for me.
Oh my, dude, for 20 minutes, he can't get a hold of his own show.
It's so good. It's so good.
There's never been anything like that since.
Now, imagine if someone did that to like James Corden. They'd be like sniped.
Yeah.
Definitely, absolutely.
But it really just shows you how much easier it was to succeed back in the day, where you could be a genuine like iconoclast and you could actually make a statement by showing up to a taping of a thing completely shit-faced. And now 10 million people do podcasts where that's what they do.
Right.
Is they show up shit-faced to them and they're just their own Dick Cavets, just drunk. And that's it. And it's just harder now.
Yeah.
You can't be just a cool for being a drunk guy.
Right.
You can't do that, which is
Yeah, he used to be like, Yeah. Have you heard about this this singer? He's drunk.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, does John Cassavetes is like, yeah, this guy's like the greatest artist. Like he invented indie film. It just turns out he was just the first guy to be drunk all the time.
All the time.
All the time. And that's it. That's all I had to do back then.
Yeah. I was drunk all the time and I had to stop because it was the 2010s.
That's such trash. They really did us dirty.
Yeah, you didn't even. Yeah, dude. Man,
you didn't even make A Woman Under the Influence or whatever.
You didn't make Opening Night.
Oh,
You didn't make any of the greats.
I didn't direct any films.
And it's like those are amazing because like John Cassavetes was so drunk he didn't write them or edit them.
Yeah,
he was just putting out like 3-hour improvised movies and people were like, these are incredible.
He just is like camera rolling and magic.
Dude, pretty much.
Yeah, he's and now get the rack focus, blurry in focus, blurry in focus, blurry, and that's the shot.
Yeah, I love John Cassavetes movies, but like when I think about like the cinematography, I'm like, it's not incredible. Like he just kind of sets the camera up and like lets people go.
Right place, right time. That's all you got to do.
That's right,
all you got to do. You don't have to do cool shots. You don't have to be fucking
like this podcast. I hope that's the right place.
That's a Cassavetes style angle.
It is. You can see it's not totally even.
That's right.
It's not centered.
It's got very indie sort of.
Yeah. I tried to center it the first week or two, but it
doesn't matter.
It's difficult to do that.
It's called having your own voice.
Mm-hmm. So do you put this up on YouTube?
Yeah.
I love that. I love the idea of watching that as a video. Just
Do you?
Intently looking at a fixed image for an hour.
Dude, you'd be fucking surprised. I mean, I kind of think I have the same feeling about it as you, but no, apparently people love it.
I love that. No, I mean, I personally, I've watched many very boring art house pretentious movies that are basically that. So I don't really have a leg to stand on.
Right.
But it is, I do like the idea of just having humans like on a screen next to you so you can just like pretend you're at a bar. Just like two guys next to you.
That is pretty much what a podcast is.
That's it. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Especially me, because I'm secretly drinking alone. No one knows I've relapsed yet.
That's right. Yeah. One more Sprite, please.
I'm listening to
no one.
It will be the funniest podcast for me to relapse. I'm just listening to like you talking you two to me.
Yeah.
Or something.
Oh, how did this get made? Very interesting. We're learning how these things got made. Peculiar. What a peculiar film.
As you're completely nude, drunk in a gamer chair.
Yeah. I'm doing like The Shining, like facial expressions. I'm like,
Oh no, you can't say that.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My relapse is gonna be so sick.
It's gonna. I've been waiting for it for fucking 3 years. I've been trying to make it happen.
I keep threatening to do it.
I used to spritz alcohol into your nose, thinking that maybe that would be the push that you needed. But
you did used to do that.
I used to do that.
It was very rude.
What are your replacement vices?
Pick everything.
Just like food, ice cream, treats.
Sure.
Yeah.
I got really into gambling because I, as like a COVID hobby, was like I just got really into sports betting because I had always wanted to, and I was like, if I do it, I'll get addicted, and then I had nothing to do, and I was like, well, everyone's got to pick up something.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
I definitely I've gotten addicted to gambling before, but it was like very low stake. I became for like a week or two I was like a scratch offs guy, and then I was just like, oh my god, what am I doing?
Scratch offs?
Yeah.
Wow, dude.
It's like the shittiest and most like judged form of gambling.
It's very judged. You got a guy literally standing there judging you.
Though I was never the guy who would like buy one and scratch it off and like hand it back to the guy. I would always take it home and scratch it off there.
Yeah. It's just like, I'm going to go to my abode to do this scratch off. I might pair it with a lovely dessert wine, a port perhaps. And you just go out the window and you just go out to the window behind the cashier and you're just like against the window just scratching it.
He just hears a muffled fuck.
May I have one more? I couldn't wait to get home and I finished this one.
Dude, I love gambling, but I love the shittiest, like least profitable forms of gambling. I love slot machines.
Is there anything more fun?
Nothing.
Lights, sounds.
I was in Vegas last month and I was just like, how do you, they used to have a lever. You would pull a and that to me is a very satisfying feeling. The sensation of grabbing and pulling the weight of it.
Right.
But then now you just press a screen.
And here's why I trust it less. Because with the lever, at least with old style slot machines, there's a lever, there's a mechanical action, you can hear the whirring of the... I believe that maybe there's some chance involved. When it's just a fucking screen and a button, I don't believe that I'm going to win.
It's so bad.
There's no way.
No.
How do you do it? It's like, what if you're doing that? I guess there's just the money involved. Because I was like, what's the point in that? Why don't you just go play like World of Warcraft or something? Like, there's better video games out there. You can have more fun on a screen playing like Fruit Ninja or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Like I don't know. That's why sports is the fun one, because you get to pretend like you're an expert. You know,
Right.
Like you get to act real smart. I got really bad.
You have to be like, maybe I'm a novelist or something.
Dude, I know so much about NASCAR now. I'm genuinely
Really?
well. So it was okay. So go back to when I was memorizing flags. The next thing after flags that I memorized was types of cars.
Right.
And then that led to the only sport I followed as a kid was NASCAR.
Dude, my room, I had nothing. My room was covered in Rusty Wallace posters.
I loved Rusty Wallace.
Dude, Rusty Wallace was the fun. I haven't followed NASCAR since he drove, but like Rusty Wallace was the fucking man.
That guy was awesome. He was the Miller Lite car.
Yes,
Ooh,
dude.
The beautiful two. Dude.
I would love to be a NASCAR guy, and I drive. It's sponsored by like a beer that just haunts me because I can't drink it.
Yeah.
You have to run when they pop the champagne.
Yeah, I want to drink the Yingling car, and I just like every now and then I catch like my car in the reflection of something, and I like almost crash.
Oh, dude, there's a guy. So there's a soccer player named Frank Ribery, who is a white man who converted to Islam.
Hell yes.
And he was playing on the team in Germany, and when his team won the German league, everybody pours big things of beer on each other. And a teammate of his poured beer on him during the celebration, and he never spoke to him again.
That's pretty sick.
Just a 5'6" French man who also had like a burn scar on his face. Terrifying looking human being.
Damn, dude.
And he never spoke to that guy because he poured beer on him.
Oh,
but yeah.
Damn.
That's a good.
What would I do if people poured beer on me?
Love it. You'd be in heaven. You'd be like, oh my God, I miss this so much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do miss it a lot.
Grabbing tufts of hair, just like.
I go through phases where like I feel like I'll go through like a year. I'm like, I don't miss drinking at all. Who gives a shit? But then then every now and then I'm like, damn, I miss drinking.
I'm telling you, dude, if we poured beer on you, you would be nude in 30 seconds sucking it out of your clothes. I'm telling you, I can see it.
That is really what keeps me from drinking again, is the fact that when I used to be a drinking man, I loved getting nude.
Oh, dude, yeah, same. I gotta stop drinking. I love getting naked when I'm shit faced
Because it's so funny.
It's hilarious.
Yeah,
it's so funny. I was like, I distinctly remember a night in college when it was like me and my roommate were like, how funny would it be if we got naked? And so it just turned into a standoff between we was 6 guys living in an apartment, and 3 of us got naked, and we were like, why aren't you guys getting naked? What are you gonna do? Why not? We all trust each other. What's going on?
And it is so funny when there's like one holdout.
Yeah. Well, no. So it was. There were 3 holdouts, and there were 3. Actually, it might have been 4 too. We might have had the numerical advantage, but there were at least 2 holdouts, and they were like, I'm not getting naked.
And no women, right?
Of course not. No.
Okay. Just making sure.
And what ended? No, I believe what ended up happening. I believe what ended up happening was that 4 of us got naked, 2 of us not naked, and we're like, all right, what do you guys want to do? You want to watch Peep Show? Okay, sure. And we watched
so just a divided room.
Of 3 naked guys.
Yeah.
And
I
3
assume
closed
you
guys.
were not sharing a couch with the closed guys, right? Like,
If I recall correctly, there was a clothed couch. There was a naked couch.
yes, for sure.
And then there was a naked chair as well.
Yeah. I wouldn't imagine there would be commingling between the 2 factions.
It was no. It was very. It was a civil war. It was a house divided. It was very north and south in that apartment.
Me and my buddy's senior year of high school, we did that where we went to our one buddy's his like grandparents' beach house, and we'd all planned just because like the one guy who was like a consistent holdout never got naked. So we were like, and it was his grandparents' beach house. So we're like, all right, so we're all just gonna like immediately get nude the second we enter the house.
Yeah.
just to upset him, and it upset him so much.
For sure.
We would go to my friend's beach house a summers. Like this is like worryingly recently. The most recent time was 2 years ago, and my friends, these are the same friends. They know that if they get me drunk enough, they can just be like, "Hey, Nate, you want to take your clothes off? You should do it. You take your clothes off. Take your clothes off." And I'm like, "Shut up, fine." And so I've done it like 2 years in a row at this house. And like his parents are like, they come back, you know, they're not there one night, but they come back the next day. They go back to Philly or whatever, and then like they come back. And I didn't know that they have security cameras at the place now.
Oh fuck! Get caught on like the Ring doorbell.
I'm literally like I'm looking like a deer, you know, like black and white, like just like scrambling, or like outside running around in the hot tub.
Yeah, you get caught on the Bigfoot cam.
Right.
It's just your eyes are just like headlights in the fucking night.
Yeah. They caught me, and then I was the thing is that I have such a low bar for those people, like my friend's family and like those friends of mine, that like they're just like, yeah, that's no big deal. It's just figure it's just fine. I'm not, you know, time changes a lot of us. You know, that was 2 whole years ago. I'm not fucking. We're different now.
You're reformed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, in high school, my buddy Neil would do. Well, there was once winter specifically. We were out of school for 2 weeks because there was like 4 to 5 feet of snow or something we got in Anne Arundel County, and so we were all over at this chick's house because her mom was one of those cool moms where it's like, you can drink, fuck. I've got 8 bedrooms. Do whatever you want. And so Neil was drinking whiskey, got really drunk, got totally nude. We convinced him to go outside and then like locked the door on him. And then we were like, it would be funny to leave him out there for an hour. You know, like 14-degree weather.
And was it funny?
I got really sick. It wasn't safe at all.
That's yeah.
Well, that's an hour. We want to take this in for a landing?
Yeah, sure. I think Nate has an obligation.
So I have a thing I have to plug. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I did this podcast recently that I spent $800 on the sound guy for. It sounds very good. It's called A Closer Look.
It sounds great.
It's called A Closer Look. It's all the episodes are out. It takes about 3 hours to listen to all of it, or you can break it up into 25-minute chunks, of which there are 8. You don't have to know anything about baseball. If you're familiar with movies and actors from the 1970s, it probably helps. There might be some punchlines that don't land. But other than that, it's for everybody. And I'm begging you from the depths of my soul, just get me to like 1,000. Just please. That's all I need. Just
Such
get
a
me
desperate
to
pitch.
1,000
Just
total?
1,000 total. Just 1,000 total. Not that hard. Not that hard to get to 1,000. Just get to 1,000.
1,000 like plays across the whole thing, or per episode?
Oh, I mean, I don't want to shoot for the moon here.
That's why I said total.
I'll start. I think we gotta be. If SoundCloud isn't all the numbers, we gotta be over 1,000 now at this point total, which includes 7-timers, the lifers.
Right.
Some people are putting up stats, so they bring the average down. But I think if we can get to 1,000 per would be like, I would get like a tattoo of the podcast to commemorate it if I can get 1,000 per.
Okay.
You should get all the scripts tattooed all over your body, like.
I'm gonna get one of those like big paintings of all the guys different celebrities hanging out, and it's gonna be all the characters I voice. And there's gonna be a tattoo on my back of all their faces. And they're all gonna be hanging out signing the Declaration of Independence, like that big painting.
Dude, you should get the same artist who did all the guys at the Improv.
Yes, that would be a good one. Yeah. I have all of my I'll come up with signatures for all of my characters and have them sign my back like the Comedy Store wall.
Yes.
That's and every time I come up with a new voice, a new character, I just add them to my whole body, just signatures. Are any of those people real? No. Yeah. They all live with me though.
Dude, we gotta buy we gotta buy a building next to the Comedy Store, make our own wall.
Yeah, just wall of guys who showed up bought a $10 PBR and
yeah.
didn't do anything there.
What we should do? No, we should. What we should do is we should erect a wall near the Comedy Store and just keep a running updated list of the Los Angeles sex offender registry.
That's right.
It's just photograph, copy paste. Boom. You like that, Comedy Store, bitches? What? Starting podcast beef with the Comedy Store guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine with that. I actually encourage that, honestly.
Yeah, closer look. Come check me out. I'll fucking fuck you up. What up?
Mm-hmm.
How many listeners you got, Rogan? I got almost 1,000 total plays, including the repeats. So, what?
And you don't even have Spotify employees angry at you personally.
No, that's right. They would be if they heard it, but
not for any content
won't.
reason. They would just be mad that they had to listen to it. Yeah. They're just mad that their time's being taken.
that's right. That's exactly right.
All right. Yeah. Listen to a closer look. I feel like your pitch was very confusing and sad, but
it was like the podcast.
I'm telling you now, it is very good. Listening to it,
your Twitter's hilarious. Will's Twitter's hilarious too.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I have no doubt that it's a good. I'm going to listen to it tonight. Like I'm trying to learn French while I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can absorb it like that.
You just wake up and started talking like mobsters.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Hell yeah! All right, check it out.
Yeah. I was gonna plug the Coward Hour live show July 10th at the Auto Bar 6:30. I'm gonna plug that until
that's
in
awesome.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds beautiful.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
Nice.
All
See
right.
you guys.